film, and then I would wait and start and wait and start. I've been doing that for the past 5 hours, and at this point I'm like, I'm over it. I'm just gonna do a sit down, mini story time video and do that for you guys. Hopefully you will enjoy watching today's video. It was completely unplanned, and I randomly thought to myself, what do I do? What do I do? And I said, let me tell you guys this story of what has happened lately. So I was renting this other apartment, right? And I did a story time, not a story time. I did an apartment tour video for you guys when I moved into the apartment, right? You guys saw that video and all that. Well, I got a letter saying that the rent on that apartment is going up, right? And it's going to this amount. And then I thought to myself, there's no way. This is such a lot of money. So I'm going to be doing a random story time for you guys about an apartment from hell. An apartment from hell. So I had moved to the big city, right? And one thing I didn't know is that getting an apartment in the city is such a hassle. It's such a hassle. It's like a job application itself, basically. So you go to view the apartment. If you want it, you send an application through. Application forms, everything, you send them through. Shh, let's wait. Shh. Your application form is not just the form. You have to send in your identity documents, you have to send in your pay slip, and you have to send in a letter of recommendation from your previous landlord. It's a lot. So basically, I have never rented from a landlord outside, staying with my family and then staying in apartments around the varsity where I grew up in, where I went to school in. So I don't really have a landlord because when I was in varsity and I was renting close to campus, that person is just someone we rented from, and then we would just give them money by hand at the end of the month. They probably didn't know that we paid this month, we didn't pay that month, we just give by hand. It was never that serious. It was just a couple who felt sorry for me and my cousin because, we're coming from previously disadvantaged backgrounds, and we seemed like decent, kids who just wanted to go to school. Who just wanted to go to school. So it's a lot noisy. Hence, I decided to do a mini story time, so you have to bear with me. This is such a chaotic video. It's going to be a chaotic video. Embrace yourself. If you want a straightforward video that's not chaotic, you can check out my other content at this point. I've been trying to stop and film for the past 5 hours. At this point, I'm like over it. Whatever sound you hear it because I'm tired. Okay, I'm tired. Apartment from hell. So basically, my cousin and I just wanted a place to rent, and then we would rent by hand, just pay by hand, and that was it. And then there was a lovely couple, and then we stayed there. Everything was awesome, and that couple would leave over the weekend, and they would leave the key with us and say switch on the lights, and then switch them back off, take our laundry, bring it back into the house, do that. But we rented a flat that's outside the house. It's separate from the house. So that's the only time I rented. And then when I went to my other varsity, then then I was staying in dormitory, which was also just person for one person, but it's still owned by the institution, you know what I mean? Other than that, I stay at home, I stay with my family. I don't have a letter of recommendation from a previous landlord. So I applied. I eventually got an apartment. You guys saw the apartment that I was filming my apartment tour, and that's the apartment that I lived in. And then they sent me a letter 6 months ago. They sent in a letter saying that rent is going up by 2.5 thousand rands, and I said to myself, no way. There's so many other places where I could get an apartment at a cheaper cost, and then it comes with a gym, it comes with a laundry room, and it also comes with a swimming pool. Here you don't get a gym, you don't get a swimming pool, you don't get a laundry room. So no thank you. But at the time when I got this apartment, it was really a blessing from God, really, because when I was getting it, it's very close to my job. I walk to work, I don't have to drive. And then secondly, load shedding was on stage 100, so there would be a lot of blackouts throughout the country. But in this apartment, there was no load shedding at all, because we stay nearby the main building, which is of significance. So because of that, we wouldn't get load shedding on the entire street, which is nice. When you don't get cutouts, which is what we call load shedding, you know, blackouts, electricity just randomly goes and then comes back. When you don't get that, and then you tell other people like, oh, I don't get like load shedding in my area, people would report you, and then your area would then get load shedding. Even if I would tell people, of which I did, would still not get load shedding. And I told them, knowing that very well, that I want them to go through the struggle of wanting my electricity to be closed, knowing very well it's never gonna be closed because those are mean people. So I would not get load shedding, which was a nice thing. Everything was awesome, everything was great. The apartment was wonderful. I did a house tour for you guys, you already saw it. I was super happy with my place. And then boom, boom, 6 months ago, I get a letter which says your rent is going up. The rent is going up by 2,600 rands. And I'm like, no, why? No. And one thing here is that having to move your furniture from one place to another, it's a big hassle. And when you are renting, they want 3 months deposit. 3 months deposit. And then on top of that, the rent for the month you're going to be renting in. So I said, unfortunately, I cannot afford like rent going up by 2.6. I'm not doing that, because I could get the same, I could pay the same amount in a place where I could get a gym for free, and I could get a convenience store for free, and I could get a laundry room for free, you know, so, and a swimming pool for free. Why am I paying such a lot of money? I don't get gym membership. There's no gym, there's no convenience store, there is no laundry room. I have my own washer dryer. I don't really like using public swimming pools, so that's not a big deal. And there's a shop nearby, but it's not that close. And the only convenient thing is that it's close to my place of employment. So I'd rather leave and go to another place. As much as I love it here, 2.5 increase is excessive. I cannot do that. So I told them, you know what guys, I cannot pay that amount. And this building is actually owned by a company. You don't rent from an individual, it's a company, which is the nice thing about it. Because I've heard people saying that they are renting from other people, and then they would not pay for their electricity, and then the water would just be cut is sorted. You don't pay your rent. You out on the street. There's no negotiating, no nothing. And I love that. So I love the fact that everything is straightforward. You are not at a disadvantage because you're paying your rent and now just water randomly cuts off. You're paying your rent, then electricity cuts off. That's not nice. So I like the fact that everything isn't. I love order, so I love that about it. But I was like, it's time to move out. I trust the Lord. I'm gonna get another amazing place. I trust Jesus. I trust the Lord. So I sent in my 2 months notice. You have to send in your 2 months notice. They also give you 2 months notice of everything. And then after they sent me, I sent them the following month, and I was just saying that I'm moving out. I'm moving out in the next 2 months. I cannot, I'm not gonna pay this amount of rent. And I should have seen it coming because they kept on renovating a lot of things. The windows, the curtains, the doors, everything was just becoming more and more fancy. I probably should have seen that coming. So I said, no, I'm not gonna pay that. They said, don't worry. We are opening another floor here in the building. We are opening another floor here in the building. Don't worry. So this floor is new. We have different rooms, and then there are different rooms come in different styles, different vibes. The build up is different. It's the same as your old apartment, the one I did the house tour for it. It's the same. The building, built-ins, everything is the same, but how they set up is different. And the nice thing is that the apartment comes with the fridge, and it also comes with the microwave, which is a nice thing. And when I look for an apartment, it has to have a nice kitchen and a nice bathroom. If the bathroom looks filthy and it's not a shower, it's only just a bathtub, I cannot do a bathtub. I need a shower. And I need a clean kitchen. That's what I need. I don't need roaches walking around. I don't like roaches, please. So yeah, it's new. There were no roaches, no nothing. Everything was new. Everything was great in that apartment. You guys saw it, right? So they said they are opening a new floor. In this floor, I'm gonna be the first one to, live, not own, but live in that flat. So would I rather move there in the next 2 months because they're going to be done by then? Would I rather move there, or do I want to move out? They want to show me how everything looks so that I can pick the room I want to live in. I was like, okay, cool, that sounds great. And then they take me to this floor, and I'm like, I've never seen this floor in my life. I never even thought there was this floor. Like, it just came out of thin air. Basically, this floor just came out of thin air. So as the rent was going up, everyone else's rent was going up. So there's this guy who's my neighbor, but their room is only just a bachelor, where the kitchen is here, the bedroom is here, the bathroom is here. Like, there's no separate bedroom from the kitchen, which is something I don't want. I wanna feel like I'm sleeping in a bedroom and not sleep in the kitchen, because I grew up with a big family, and at times you would have to sleep in the kitchen because when there are visitors, they would go sleep in your bedrooms, and then you have to sleep in the kitchen. So now I have trauma associated with having to sleep in the kitchen. I don't want to sleep in the kitchen. So just like when you eat cabbage, you're like, I never want to eat cabbage again, because I ate cabbage a lot in my childhood. So I never want to sleep in the kitchen ever again. I don't like bachelors. Not that they're not nice. They are nice. It's just that takes me back to when I had to sleep in the kitchen without wanting to sleep in the kitchen, So that guy's rent was also going up. That guy was like, you know what, I'm gonna continue staying here. I like it. So yeah, he continued to stay on that floor. So I'm like, I'm moving to the other floor. They're saying that I'm gonna be paying less than 1,000 rand, less than what I'm currently renting downstairs, if I get this apartment that I want on this other floor. He was like, which floor are you talking about? I'm telling him the floor. He's like, is there a floor in that place? I didn't even see it. Where did it come from? Like, I don't know. There's a floor now. I don't know. So I see the houses, I see the apartments that they're showing me, and then I fell in love with this one. The only reason why, it's because it was 1,000 rent less than what I'm renting. And then the other ones, the rent was all like above the place that I was renting. So I'm like, I want to pay the same amount or less. So this one has a separate kitchen from a bedroom, and I'm paying 1,000 rands less. Bonus. I'm like, I'm taking it. The downside was that just behind me is the sliding door. The sliding door leads to outside, and then outside is a wall. You can't see anything. There's just a long wall. And then if you go to that side, it's an escape area. And then the other side, it's my other neighbor's room. There are only 2 rooms with this balcony that leads to the escape, and then the long wall. So that meant I don't see any sunlight. And then when I came in to look at it, and then I went to look at I saw these fans right next to my wall outside. I saw these fans, and I was like, what about these fans? They're making a lot of noise. They're like, but your sliding doors will have, what do you call it, a noise cancellation like layer, so you're not really gonna hear that noise from them. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it, because my next door neighbor's room is a bachelor. The kitchen is here, the bedroom is here, only the toilet is separate. And I'm not gonna take that one, I wanna take this one. And then the other ones are the more expensive ones. You have sunlight, you see the mountain, you know, all that. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this. I see the mountain all the time. I don't care about seeing the mountain. And then I'm always at work, I'm never here, so I don't care even if I don't get sunlight. It doesn't matter to me. So I took it, and I moved here in this other floor, which meant I don't have to go through the paperwork. I don't also have to go through the hassle of having to hire a moving company, just keeping my clothes on the storeroom whilst I'm still looking, going through all that, paying 3 months deposit. They already have my deposit and everything, so I'm just moving a floor down, which is good. So after that, I moved in to this new floor. Biggest regret ever. Biggest regret of my life is moving to this floor. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. So I moved in, everything looks fine, and I'm starting to feel myself that I'm not as bubbly as I was because of not being able to get the sunlight. And I'm like, it's not a big deal. I then go to the park every now and then. I just sit there, I soak in the sun, and then come back, and then I eat a lot of chocolate. It just felt like myself. It felt like I'm in a dungeon. I don't see anything unless I'm going out. And when I'm going out, sometimes I can't even see the weather. I have to go out, as in go down, take a lift, go downstairs, and go stand outside and look in the sky. I'm like, oh, it's cloudy today. And at times, because it's winter, I'm like, I'm just gonna throw in my coat, just throw in a coat and sneakers and go out. When I'm going out, it's raining. I didn't see that. I didn't even know that it was raining, and I have to go back to fetch an umbrella. Such inconvenience. But that was not the only thing. The worst thing is that I do not get any cell phone reception. Once I get into this floor, my network connection for my cell phone network cuts off. I tell the building people that my network is not working, and then they tell me I'm the only one who's having this issue. Other people are not having this issue. I should consider changing networks because of that. And I'm like, this is not safe. My family cannot get a hold of me. Nobody can get a hold of me if I'm here. And then I end up having to buy an extra SIM card in cases of emergency so that people can get a hold of me from a different network. My Wi-Fi is not working. I put my Wi-Fi on top of the cupboard somewhere, and it works after 5. During the day, it does not work. And when I have to work from home, I cannot work from home. I have to always be out if I want to work because network is not working. If I want to do my work, do some research, do something, I cannot do it. service provider. When I tell them about it, and I'm like, oh my god, it was so frustrating. And for my ASMR videos, I can't upload them. So basically, that's when I started doing what I call bulk filming. So I choose a weekend, I film as many videos as I can. I choose another weekend, I edit all those videos as much as I can. And then I choose the third weekend, I go where I could get like network or internet connection. I'll upload them. Some of these videos take a lot of space, like an over an hour long video, take a lot of space, and I would be sitting there up until 7 o'clock in the afternoon trying to upload videos, trying to upload them. And then I'd come back, take an Uber back because it's late now, take an Uber back. It was so inconvenient in that sense. I can't make phone calls, I can't do anything. I'm doing job applications. What if these jobs I'm applying for are calling me back and they can't get a hold of me because I don't have cell phone reception? That is insane. That is insane. I was like, no man. I couldn't use the internet connection. I was like, this is a disaster. If I knew this was gonna happen, I could have sacrificed 2.5 every month and continued staying where I was staying, because this is crazy. And then when I thought things wouldn't get any worse, in my bathroom, the new apartment, there is no ventilation at all. There's usually a fan that sucks up after you shower. There's no that fan. There's a window that you open. When you open that window, there's something with the water leaking from outside, from one of those fans. The fans leak water. The water outside is everywhere. And then there are birds. We call them amahobe. What is amahobe? Doves. The brownish doves. There are doves which go sit there because they're trying to drink this water that's coming out of the fan. They sit there, they poop, they do everything. And then after that, the only way to get ventilation is to open this window. But there's no ventilation that's coming out, no ventilation that's coming in, because there's a wall. It's very difficult for air to come in. That meant I have to open it early in the morning when I shower and close it around 10 p.m. in the evening when I'm about to sleep. Yeah. And then what that means is that bugs are coming in because it's not sanitary, because the birds are pooping in there, which attracts bugs, and then it's watery, that attracts mosquitoes. They're getting inside my apartment. There are bugs everywhere. There's no ventilation, and then mold just started building up on my bathroom walls. Mold because there's zero ventilation. I reported to them. They say, they come to look at it. It's like, it's not much of a bigger deal. Let's just paint, like we're just gonna remove it and then we're gonna paint over it. Just make sure that you keep your windows open. And I'm saying that you don't have burglars here. What if someone just breaks in because the window is down here? Someone can just jump in. What if someone comes in and steals all my belongings? They say, no, we have cameras, that would never happen, everything. But I'm like, okay, fine, I keep my windows open. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, you can never be fully 100% sure. This is South Africa at the end of the day. What if someone comes in? Then what? And then secondly, there are these bugs coming in, and then I get this bug automatic spray thing. It does not work. It smells like doom all over my place. I had to buy like dooms, and I constantly am dooming, spraying all these bugs, and then they're falling all over, and then they're tiny. They're making it their way to my kitchen, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? Why is this happening? So sometimes I would take my towel, you sometimes shower and then you wrap your towel around. So I was sitting on my bed with the towel that I wrapped around as I was showering from the bathroom. After a couple of weeks, I'm seeing mold growing on my headboard of the bed. I'm like, where is this coming from? The only logic was that I was wearing that towel which comes from the bathroom and the mold is coming from the bathroom. everything wet. The wall is wet, the windows are wet, everything. I keep it open and whatnot, right? And then also there was mold growing around it because there would be water dripping off the window, right? And mold is attracted to moisture. So around the window sill, there's mold growing everywhere. And then in that corner, I had my mirror where I look at myself in the morning when I get dressed up. When I look behind the mirror, the standing mirror, there is mold everywhere. There is mold everywhere behind the mirror. I'm cleaning this mold behind the mirror. I'm constantly cleaning the mold in my bathroom on a regular basis because it did not stop. They painted over it, and then the door for my bathroom is just the door that's in my bedroom. So I'm sleeping in this painted room. They're saying, no, it's not gonna affect you. It smells like crazy from fresh paint that I had to sleep in when they're painting over it. And when I report it again, like, oh, we're gonna have to come paint over it. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not sanitary. This cannot be sanitary, or this cannot be good for my health. And also for the mold. Mold cannot be good for my health. I went hiking with a friend and I started hyperventilating, and I'm, what is happening? And then he's like, yeah, the mold is giving you asthmatic whatnot, because mold does affect your chest if you get exposed to it for a very long time. So I bought things to clean the mold. This is mold what thing that I'm looking at right now. I don't want to come show it, no free advertising. I'm constantly spraying that and cleaning it, and chemicals, they also come with their own smells, right? It was a nightmare, and I had to constantly clean it, as I have to constantly clean it. No, after that, my headboard, I also had to constantly clean it, and then I make sure that my bed does not touch my headboard directly. I keep a distance so that it does not spread to my bed as well. And then in my wardrobe, right, I had a chest that I usually put in only just my shoes. When I go to take up some of my shoes, they are all covered with mold. Some of my shoes are all covered with mold. It's crazy. And I'm like, what is happening? I take pictures of all of these things. I send it to them. They don't care. They don't do anything about it. And that's when I was like, I've reached my end point. I'm writing a notice. I'm moving out of here. I just have to leave. I sent in my 2 months notice. They're like, okay, cool. You can move out if you want to. And then after that, I try to keep the fan aircon open most of the time, so maybe it could suck up some of this moisture that's causing this mold. The aircon is around my living room area. I had this beautiful orange flowers that I bought in a botanical garden. Those were meant to last for a year. They're meant to last for more than 6 months, basically, to a year. It's one of those hard ones that you can still keep when they are hard. I keep the aircon open, and then when I come back, there are tiny droplets of black things on the floor coming from the aircon area, and I switch it off, and then I sweep that thing away. A couple of days after that, I go to my flowers. When I look at them, they have mold everywhere, and then I take them out of the vase to look inside the vase. Mold everywhere inside the vase. And I was like, what in the world is happening? I then just took the entire vase. I when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I have a study desk area, where you do your things, study desk area. So I usually leave my laptop on top of the study desk area before bed, just leave it there, and sometimes my camera and everything. This time around, I had left my camera on top of my laptop on top of the couch, and then my camera on top of my camera bag. I just left the camera bag open. I just put in the camera, and then the lens was facing up. I went to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I'm seeing water on my living room floor, and I'm like, what the hell? Where is this coming from? And then I tried to switch on the lights. There are lights leading to the kitchen, and then the lights leading to the living room area. I switch on the lights leading to the living room area so that I can see the desk study area. The lights are not switching on. Only the kitchen side lights are switching on. And then I look. The wall is entirely wet. The wetness got into my floor. It was raining. It was heavy rains. And then apparently, the fence I'm telling you about that are outside, there's a hole. Then they got through the hole of the fence and then got inside my apartment roof. And then it went down the roof to inside my apartment. And then I immediately look for my camera. My camera has droplets from water, and it's very difficult to photograph water inside a place with, just a taking camera. So I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like looking for my laptop, like, oh, I left it on top of the couch. Thank God. If it was still there, it would have been destroyed, completely destroyed. And then the camera lens has water droplets. I send them the pictures. They come to look for it, and then they say they're gonna fix it. Shh. What time is it? Shh. They come with a foam, like shh, on the space there where the water came in. Like, okay, the problem should be fixed by now. And then also when they came to look, they're like, are you sure you didn't sleep with your balcony door open? And I'm like, does it look like my balcony door is wet? You can clearly see that the water's coming from the roof that side in the corner, and then it destroyed my things in there, and also the drawers. You could see that it dropped on there, which is way far away from the balcony door. Like, what do you mean? I never sleep with the balcony door open. Why would I do that? Because even there, they're not even backlog guards. So that's an invite for somebody to just randomly walk inside my house, because it's practically a door. I wouldn't do that. They said, oh well, foam, it should be fixed by now. And I'm like, I'm so disappointed by how these people are handling this entire situation. I'm a very loyal resident here. I don't cause any noise. I mind my business. I'm very clean. I'm not destroying their infrastructure. I'm not poking holes or anything. I'm just like paying my rent on time. It's on debit order. What do they want? Like, why are they being so unethical about the situation? This is unacceptable. And then when they said my apartment now is put out on the market for someone else to rent it, so there are apartment viewings whilst you're still living in there. There are people who come in to look at the apartment to rent it after you. So these people keep coming in and out, coming in and out. So I was told that people can come in after 5 when I'm around, so that they could look at the apartment. And then I said, okay, cool. Now, when people come to look at your apartment, they buzz you in using your phone number, and then your phone rings, and then you can go out to collect them. Now, my phone, I don't hear when people are buzzing me in because I don't have network. That I told them about it. And then they said, that's not the intercon, because you use the intercon. That's not the intercon problem. That's a problem that I have with my network provider. And I said, but the thing is, the internet provider said that it was working when I was on the other floor. Now that I'm in the dungeon, it's not working. well. And then they never did that. So I'm like, in a way, it is your problem, because network should be working. It's a network, right? And then I would stand there for about 30 minutes to an hour waiting for someone to come view the apartment, and they never show up. And I told them, like, guys, I cannot be standing there for over 1 hour 30 minutes waiting for 3 people to come here to view, for only for those people not to even show up. I have things to do as well. I cannot be standing down there. And then they were like, but it's blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool. In that case, I completely understand. Do you mind paying me back my lens? Do you mind paying me back my hair dryer and my hair curling iron that got destroyed by the water that got inside? Do you mind paying me back for the furniture of mine that got destroyed by the mold when I was living in here? Those are not my fault. They are the incompetence of the building. Do you mind paying me back for those as well, as I wait for those people outside? And then they were like, we're gonna get back to you on that. They never got back to me on that, and they said they are going to conduct the viewings themselves during daytime, so that people can come in during daytime when they can facilitate the viewings themselves. And they facilitated the viewings themselves, and then after 5 they would say there's still more viewings, and then I changed my number to the number that I use for my family to call me. I said, please put in this number. And then there were still viewings that are happening at that time using a different number from the number that I applied with to stay here, which was a nightmare. I don't like how they're handling things. And there was a new person who moved in here, and then they were like, how's your network? How do you do these things? And I'm like, good luck with that. I'm out of here. Good luck with that. And the person who probably is going to be renting this apartment after me, they probably don't know what a disaster this place is, and how they don't seem to care about anything. They don't seem to care about anything except making money. They don't care about their tenants. And I'm like, I'm wishing whoever's gonna be moving here best of luck with the mold, because the fault is not on my side. They don't have ventilation, and it came out that this floor that they're building in is a floor that has stopped for decades upon decades, allegedly. So now there's a potential that there's a lot of mold on the roof area. Hence, when you open the fan, things come out, and hence, mold is breaking out everywhere as well because of such things, allegedly. And then the neighbor said, because my neighbor was like, girl, I have this issue with my aircon crumbling with black things. What is happening? Do you have an issue with your aircon? And I was like, yeah, but mostly with the mold that is building up everywhere, blah blah blah. They're like, oh, there's something definitely shady about you. And then there's also one guy who moved from upstairs to downstairs. As I was drawing my washing machine, they were not my washing machine, my washing basket, as was drawing out covered with mold. They were like, hi. They were like, you moved in here as well? It's like, yeah, but yeah, I'm having an issue with this floor. I'm drawing out my washing machine because it's covered with my washing basket because it's covered with mold everywhere. And then they're like, man, the way I want to move out, this floor is a disaster. I don't like this new floor. It looks like a cash grab. And I couldn't agree more. It looks like a cash grab. This floor is a disaster. Don't get me wrong. The place looks nice. It looks modern. It looks clean. And it looks everything that I want in an apartment. But mold, no, I cannot. And also having to cross your fingers when it's raining, and also them not taking care of their tenants when it comes to such things, and above all, not having signal. I don't have internet, I don't have cell phone reception, I can't do any of those things. So I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I have to move out. I have to think about these things and move out. I can't. My health above everything comes first, and mold is not good for you. Once again, best of luck to whoever is going to be moving here after me. Okay, best of luck to you. Yeah. But mna ndiyaphuma. I'm so excited to be leaving. I'm living in this is my last week here. Next week I'll be in a new apartment, and I'm super duper excited about that. And I can't wait, and I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ that I don't have such problems there. I pray that I don't have such problems in there. Please, please, Lord, don't. I pray that I don't have such problems. To prove that it's so difficult to get an apartment, I am not moving immediately to the new apartment. I want to make sure that the apartment is an apartment that I really want. I don't want to rush things. So I am putting my stuff, my furniture, in a storage facility, and after that I will stay in an Airbnb for a while up until I'm completely comfortable with the apartment that I get. And once that is sorted and I'm happy with it, then I take out my things out of the storage and then I move to the new apartment. Other than that, Olo and easy, I want absolutely nothing to do with that. How dare you? How dare you? I'm such a chilled person, and to go through this, I was like, you don't do this to people. You've been totally disrespectful. I really don't appreciate it. Please don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're like, we're gonna get back to you on that. We're gonna revert back to you on that. And the thing is, I'm someone who wants to have evidence. I'm sending them emails and they don't reply back to my emails. They want me to actually be in person with them, and then they verbalize everything, because in my mind I'm thinking that they know what they're doing and they know what that they're doing is wrong, and they don't want anything should there be legal issues associated with it. They don't want any footprint of their unethicalness being reflected on an email somewhere, which is, it sucks big time. So when I send them an email on like the mold building up or just pictures, they just give me a call. Are you around? We're gonna send somebody to come and paint over it. And then they're doing that over the phone call when I'm not around. Or they send me an email. Hi, we've been trying to get a hold of you. Could you please call us back? That's what the email would say. Could you please call us back? We want to discuss this issue. Could you please call us back? I'm like, please reply via email. And then nothing. This really did frustrate me. I'm not someone who easily gets aggravated or easily gets frustrated, but I'm highly disappointed at how they handled everything and how this turned out to be an apartment from hell. If I knew this was all that's going to come with it, I probably would have sacrificed a couple of thousands to not experience this, because why anyway, that's pretty much it. This is my last month. This is my 6th month here, and my last month I sent in notice after 4 months of living in here, because I started seeing changes after 2 months, and then on the 3rd month I've noticed that they're not changing anything, and then I decided to send in my notice immediately, and then my 2 months notice is what you're allowed to. So this is basically my last month. I'm super excited and grateful for what's ahead, and I can't wait to move into my new apartment where I could get sunlight, because when I make these videos, the last time I made them using sunlight was when I was not using this background when I was next to my bookshelf. That is when I actually did those. But now I'm using the lights up above me, and one thing I like about the lights here, want. The house is, or the apartment rather, is very modern, and then the lighting is perfect. I don't need to use, extra lights, because the lighting on my ceiling is perfect enough for these ASMR videos. It's cozy enough and all that, but at this point it has to end. It has to stop. It has to end. So yeah, that's the story about the apartment from hell. I hope you enjoyed this video. Some of you guys love it when I whisper. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this whispering video. I will catch you on the next one. My battery is even flickering right now because I've been trying to film all day, but it's been busy and I had to stop and start and stop and start, and I ended up saying that, you know what, let me just film a babbling video where I don't have to use a lot of props or, hand movements or anything like that. Something where I just babble, sit down, easy peasy, straightforward. And that's the story of me spending my last few days in this apartment. I'm grateful for the time here, and I'm grateful for everything that came with it, but I just couldn't deal with the mold, and I just couldn't deal with the signal and not having Wi-Fi either, and also the water issue, and the incompetence of it all. It's just reach a breaking point. Sometimes you're like, you know what, I didn't have issues on the other floor in the dungeon. It's just one issue after the next, and I have to go. I pray and I believe that the Lord is going to bless me with a nice place that I'll probably own myself right now. That I'll own myself, not renting anymore, just own a house of my own, not renting anymore, and just do my thing and have a room, an extra bedroom that I use just as my, what do you call it, a filming room, as my studio for filming my videos. Amazing. That would be nice. We are such big dreamers. I dream a lot too, so looking forward to that. So exciting, and so excited about this next chapter of my life. One step at a time, baby steps.